Well, thanks for joining me today. You can see there's a little different background back here. It's at our race shop, and I'll be videoing some of our little game plan sessions from here at the race shop, and at different times I'll also be in Washington, D.C. as I travel back and forth. I thought what we'd do today is I just want to give you a little update. I apologize for us not being on time this last week. Obviously, we had a lot going on with me stepping down from the Redskins, and I think I shared a little bit about that with everybody out there. I wanted to talk a little bit about our last 4 years in football. I want to give you a little update on Taylor. I want to talk a little bit about our race shop today. And then I want to talk a little bit about the search for a football coach for the Redskins. And then I want to talk a little bit about what I plan on doing in the future. And hopefully there's going to be some excitement there about keeping everybody involved with us as we go forward with our little Joe Gibbs online chats each week. So we got a full plate here. Let me get started. I think I reflect back on our last 4 years there with the Redskins, and I can remember when I decided to go back to coaching, and Pat and I had talked and prayed about it. I knew at that point I was going to be embarking on something that was so big, coaching the Redskins and coaching an NFL team, that I couldn't do it by myself. And obviously I also said, I think when I took that job, that I knew I was operating in full swing without a net. In other words, I was on the trapeze bar and there was no net. You coach the Washington Redskins, there's a lot going on, and certainly that's just what happened in my 4 years with the Redskins. But you know, when I think back on that time, and maybe some of you out there right now are embarking on something that really, as we go through life, we have a lot of situations like that, don't we? We can't do it. I knew coaching the Redskins, I couldn't do it. I was going to be dependent totally upon the Lord. There's so much can happen up there. There's players getting hurt. You know, there's people getting upset. There's close losses. There's fumbles. All those things are kind of out of your control. And so as we go through life, as I think back on those 4 years, probably a lot of you are in that very same situation. Now, it may be in your occupation, it may be in relationships, but I would be willing to bet many of you out there, it could be a sickness of some kind, are going through something similar to that. In other words, really, and I stopped and thought about it, as I go through life and as you go through life, we can't control most of the things we're involved in. And so it becomes what? Trusting the Lord. As I think back on those 4 years, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Some real tough times, and you went through a lot of those with me. I appreciate that, and I tried to kind of share, but then also a lot of great times. And I think it kind of culminated with that game in Buffalo this year. We had all the tough injuries we had this year. We had the loss of Sean Taylor. And then we had the Buffalo game, which was the 4th loss in a row that came down to the last play. I talked to you about the mistake I made in calling a second time out there. I told you that at that point, I really felt like that crushing time in my life was for a particular reason. I got to a point, I think, in that season, I was saying and constantly saying, well, I want to finish strong. I want to win football games for you, Lord, so I have a great testimony and a good platform. Really and truly, I had to make a confession, as I told you guys, and say at that point, no, I was probably wanting a lot of that for me. And at that point, being crushed like that, I think what it brought me to my knees, and it had me say to God this, no, God, from here on out, really and truly, I hope I don't do this again. I want what you want. Irregardless, I want what you want for my life. And at that point, that's happened to me twice in my life occupationally. Maybe it's happening to some of you right now. At that point, God, I felt like, did take over. And of course, we had the miracle finish after that. We had four real good losses, and four great victories. And, you know, I'd said after the Buffalo game, there'd never be another positive thing said about my coaching career. And can you believe a lot of the things that were said over these last few weeks have just been great. I appreciate it. There were nice things said about my coaching career. And so as I reflect back on that 4 years, I just share with some of you, you're probably embarking, or you may be in the middle of a similar situation. And I think for me, I think the lesson I learned from that, and I would just share with you guys, is going forward, I hope I don't make that mistake again. I hope I can honestly say, Lord, I want what you want in my life, irregardless. I just want what you want and stay focused on that. So I just share that with you about the last 4 years. I'll continue to talk about my football coaching and career as we go forward from time to time. But the second thing I wanted to do today was just give you a little update on Taylor. I got to go with him Wednesday to his doctor's appointment. I got to tell you, he is my hero. You go down there, and as you guys know, they have a little port on his chest. They put this cream on there, and then they put a big needle in there. And they take out his blood. This was just one of the normal appointments he makes. He is the bravest little guy. No cry, no nothing. We came back home from that, and so Taylor's doing great. And so I just give you that little update. I know a lot of you prayed about it as I've shared during the year about Taylor and what he's going through. It's been great being at home with the grandchildren and being home with Pat more over these last 2 weeks. I'm still going back and forth some to Washington, and that's the second update I was going to give you. The Redskins are searching for a coach. Let's all pray for that. I'm helping Dan every now and then when he calls me with that search, so giving him whatever advice that I think, or any way that I think I could help. So we need to prayerfully go through that. We got all the coaches up there too. I'm praying about their futures. Hopefully it's going to be a smooth transition there and our coaches get to stay. The other thing that I want to kind of say to you is this new surrounding I'm with right here. Some of the things I'm going to be sharing going forward, a lot of that's going to be about the race team. Some of you may be NASCAR race fans. Some of you may be hearing about this for the first time. Hopefully we kind of get you hooked. When we stop and think about it, we've got 400 people here working on race cars. We have 3 Winston Cup cars that it used to be Winston Cup, and it's our NASCAR Cup teams. We have 3 of those: Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch, all racing in the big series for us. We have also some nationwide, which is the Saturday races. I'll be trying to. It's very similar to football. It's amazing. All the personalities here, the competitive spirit that's in NASCAR, and all the things that you go through here. I'm sure I'm going to be sharing some experiences with you from NASCAR that will be exciting for some of you as you kind of maybe get caught up for the first time in NASCAR, and probably many of you are NASCAR fans anyway. The other thing that I'm going to be working on, I feel like that what I would like to be involved with from here on out, from an outreach standpoint, my deal is evangelism, and I would like to talk a lot to people about the game plan for life. You guys have already heard it, but I plan on kind of going forward right now. Pray with me as to what approach we're going to take. Right now, what I would like to do is put together a concise game plan for life, which is God's Word. I would like to take the most important subjects out of that Bible, get the experts in the field that have done that research to work with me, Joe, the average Joe, the football coaching Joe, put that together, and then I want to kind of share that in an evangelistic way. So we'll be talking about that. So I got a lot going on in my life right now. It was great getting caught up with you today. Again, if you want to contact us at Joe Gibbs Online, I'd love to send you some free material. And just remember, we're not putting you on any mailing list. We're not trying to get anything from you. This is strictly a gift from me to you. It was great getting caught up. I'll see you right back here next week, and we'll be on time next week.